In the energy quadrant, taking a look at the November natural gas contract, which had its trend up resume again after a one-day sell-off. Natural gas moving back up toward those 7-year highs, 5.62% higher on the highs today. 5.785 was that figure. On the downside, we're actually down almost 2.5%, 2.48% at 5.341. But we ended up the day a little bit better than 3.25% higher, closer to 3.5% higher. We are now up for a 7th straight week. We've got one day left, but it doesn't look like there's enough in this to turn it around. And it's interesting to note that despite pulling back quite a bit off the highs this week, which is the move we saw yesterday, and again, we've still got one day left, this is the 7th straight week higher if it finishes higher, and it's also the second strongest of those 7 weeks. So the move is not slowing down despite pulling back up, or pulling back down, I should say, off of the highs we reached this week so far. Still one day left. Now, weather demand, always the thing we're looking at, and we're looking at numerous weather systems impacting the U.S. all at once. That's affecting domestic demand. We haven't really talked much about the foreign demand. That's coming with the winter. But one system is over the northwest, 2 different systems over the plains, and a 4th over New England. Temperatures are ranging from the 50s to the 70s across these systems, except for Texas and the South Plains, which is showing highs in the 80s, and the rest of the U.S. really remaining comfortable to warm with highs from the 60s to 80s. The only area outside of that comfortable range is the Southwest Desert and the far South Texas, showing highs in the 90s. So weather demand is expected to stay low to very low, let's call it for the foreseeable future, until we see a change in that domestic weather demand. The EIA was released today, a weekly natural gas storage report, printed a build of 88 billion cubic feet, slightly higher than the survey averages of 87 billion cubic feet, and larger than the 5-year average of 72 billion cubic feet. This increased supplies to 3.17 trillion cubic feet and improved the deficits a little bit to 213 billion cubic feet below that 5-year average. It's a little bit of comfort there. Because of the mild weather we talked about, however, next week's EIA report is expected to be larger than the 5-year average, maybe potentially being over 100 billion cubic feet.